Here we go. We out here. Let's go. Just waiting for Instagram to get up, y'all. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay, if you're watching this replay, hashtag replay in the chat. Comment where you at in the world. Are you in Wisconsin, New York, Alabama? Okay, now we on Instagram. Cool. Paul Pape, I see you. Kyle, I see you. What's up, everybody? Hey, I wanted to just talk about speaking and share a couple of things with you specifically around the three categories that I find people who are aspiring to speak, grow their business through speaking, get on more stages, share their story, impact lives with their story. I find that they fall into one of three categories. Paul, we know you're in Nebraska, baby. We know you're in Nebraska. Um, and I was just thinking of it. The three categories are considering. Number one, like they're in this considering stage. It's like thinking about it, kind of checking it out, poking around online, maybe watching a lot of YouTube videos, that type of thing. Like in that considering phase, like I might feel this tug, this inspiration, this calling, this I don't know, this idea that maybe I should speak, whatever that is for you. There's people in that considering stage, right? And then there's people who are in like the committed stage. This is like, okay, I'm hiring the coach, I'm getting the support that I need. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna start sharing my story. I'm gonna do something that I'm committed to following this path, this passion, or this purpose, or this calling, and I'm in the committed camp. Okay. Hashtag committed if that's you. The wealth coach, what's up? What's up? And so there's the considering, the committed, next level speakers, baby. Oh yeah, the homies is on the call. Shout out to them. Next level. See now I'm talking about next level speakers. Considering was what we're talking about. Okay, to committed, and then the third realm for me is called. Okay, called. And here's the difference. For me, when a person is in commitment, it's like I'm using my human willpower. Like I'm driving things forward in my own strength. I'm committed. I'm showing up in the places that I need to go. I'm putting my story out there. I'm getting my reps. I'm getting my training. I'm committed. Okay. But then there's the call. Okay. And in my opinion, a calling is not about a human will nor a choice per se. A calling is about a surrender. It is about awakening, a recognition that my life is not my own, that there's a divine purpose for my life and the reason why I'm here. And in that observation and in that awareness and in that revelation, there is a third camp that is all around surrendering to the call. And we all have to make that navigation through that spectrum, going from considering to committed to called. And if you're in the called camp or you're in the committed camp and you're out here and you're doing things, I want to invite you to come out March 23rd to the Nashville area. We're hosting our signature Step on Stage event. You'll have the opportunity to share your story, to work in your craft, to up level how you show up. Listen, it doesn't matter how many podcasts you do, how many times you go live on social, how many speeches you do. It doesn't matter how many of them you do. It matters how much impact, how much reach that you get from the places where your story is being shared. And I don't care if that's even in an advertisement. I want everybody to write this down. Resonance equals reach, which equals revenue. Okay. Resonance equals reach, which equals revenue. Okay. And by reach, I also mean impact. All right. So resonance equals reach equals revenue. And here's the thing. There's a lot of people that are in the right spots, but because they don't have resonance, they're not actually making the right revenue or making the right connections or making as much of an impact as they can make. Resonance is like the difference between the commercial that you like and you watch and you remember in the commercial that makes you go to www.com, whatever. The commercial that makes you rush to pick up your phone so that you can grab a screenshot of the website before they go to the next commercial. Resonance will cause you to move. Resonance will cause you to shift. Resonance will call you to stop making dinner, will cause you to tell the person that you're talking to on the phone to hold on, will cause you to stop the middle of your work. If something's resonating with you, it causes you to shift. And if you don't have a resonance in your message, you won't have as much reach and you won't have as much revenue and you won't be able to make as much impact. You'll just have a story or a calling, or you'll be out here hustling, but you won't be getting as much return from your efforts because there's not enough resonance in your message. So you want more resonance that leads to more reach, that leads to more revenue. Whether for you, you're in a season where that's what you want to do is increase revenue, or you just want to get your story out there. You want to impact more lives. Your business is good. You running it how it runs. It's operating. It's smooth, and it's time for you to step into your legacy season, sharing the seeds of greatness that only you were meant to share because of your story, because of your upbringing, because of the things that you've overcome in your life. So one of the things that I always wish that I would have was a place where I could work on my craft and get called up into my higher potential. I didn't want a sandwich feedback. I didn't want compliment. This is what I liked. This is what I didn't like. This is how you can improve. I didn't want that type of feedback. I wanted like, man, listen, man, you hiding. You're not really going into the depths of your pain. Hey, brother, man, listen, I know you got passion. I know you got energy, man, but honestly, you need to back up some of what you're saying with research. I didn't have that type of feedback. Even when I pay coaches a lot of money to get it, I've got that in my life now. Thanks. You just saw one of my teams on here with next level speakers. I've got high ticket coaches in my background. Shoot, my wife is always listening to me. I have that mirror now, but for a lot of my career in speaking, I didn't have that because people was too busy sandwiching stuff, giving me the cookie cutter. Or a lot of times I was doing so much better than them that they was just like, well, that's dope. So what feedback can I give you? And it's like, man, I really wanted somebody who would hold the standard, who would be able to call me up into greatness, to call me into the next level of my expression, to tell me where I'm holding back, to tell me if I want to sing, if I want to dance, if I want to shout, if I want to crank music, if I want to get people up moving their body, if I want people to do the twist, the nay, whatever, to be free flowing, so that I can be available for the divine to flow through me in a more powerful way that equals more resonance. And I needed a space to work in person with people where I didn't have to pay $30,000 just to have a couple of hours to work on this craft. And man, I couldn't find it, so I built it. Okay, March 23rd, step on stage. That's exactly what we're doing. We're communicators, we're leaders who know that we are called to speak, and we're looking to impact the world with our message. And we know that it's all about, everybody say, practice. Come on, Allen Iverson, practice. Come on, Rick the Wealth Coach, practice. Come on, Kalani, practice. Come on, Chris, practice. Come on, AI, practice, baby. It's all about the practice. We got to put in the reps. And can I tell you something? Being on podcasts is good practice. Virtual stages is good practice. Some of the stuff that you're doing is good practice, but ain't no practice like being in the room with these things. I'm just going to tell you, ain't none. Because I ain't going to let you get by with the stuff that people been giving you the courtesy clap for. Okay? And it's not about ripping every part of your speech apart. It's about helping you to stand in the next level of expression. It's about rising to a new identity, to who you are as a leader. As you lead, as you speak on more stages, one of the things that happens is your influence expands. More people following you, more people asking for your opinion, more people respecting and using your principles and your ways of thinking and living into their everyday life. And as that influence expands, your identity will be invited to shift. You will become a new person because you're standing in a new position. And in that new identity, there's a new way to communicate. You can't keep telling the same stories the same way as you always told them, because there's an evolution of your identity. There's a new perspective that you have on your past. There's a new way that you perceive your story, because you start to see things that you thought happened to you that are now happening for you, and only time can take care of that. If you don't have enough time before the breakdown and the breakthrough, you don't actually know that some of the things that happened to you was actually for you. And some of you are in that season. You got some things, some obstacles, some trials that didn't happen, and you in the breakdown moment, and you might have experienced a little bit of breakthrough, but you don't understand it till you got some time, and you can look back 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, come on, somebody, and you can go, oh my God, I understand why she left me. I understand why that job had to let me go. I understand why we wasn't just getting along. We had to separate ways. I understand why that client had to leave. I understand now in retrospect. I don't even know how I got off on that side tangent, y'all. But that's who we are. Okay, so if you want to come out to the event, type event in the chat. It's the best space in the world to work on your craft. That's what I believe. Okay. I try to keep the container small so that we have opportunity for people to go deep into their messaging and wide into their expansion. And so if you're looking for someone who's going to hold a standard for you, if you're looking to have an identity shift because of the influence that you're now attracting into your life, if you're wanting to step powerfully on stage and share your story with a new level of expression, with a new openness, with a new dynamic range that creates resonance that leads to reach in your life, I want you to type event and we'll get you all the details. My team will reach out. We'll make sure that you have the information to join. It'll be in the Nashville area. It'll take place all day on that Saturday. And man, it's going to be freaking epic. You're going to be in a room full of people playing that game, and the transformation is going to be epic. You will leave differently than you came. You can ask anybody that's been to any of the events that we hosted. That's universally true. Okay. So yes, March 23rd, my homie. Yes, sir. Unless I said the wrong date. Okay. Considering, committed, called. Wish I had my guy Rick right now. I tell him, sing, my life is not my own. To you I belong. I give myself away. That's what it means to be called. If it was up to my commitment or my consideration, I wouldn't be doing this, y'all. I'm doing this because I was called. I'm doing this because even though I had insecurities about the gap in my teeth, insecurities about the darkness of my skin, insecurities about how I talk, if it was too white or too black, I allowed those insecurities within myself about my worthiness, about my identity, to keep me from standing and walking powerfully in my calling and advancing my God-given message. I allowed that stuff. And I'm telling you, I don't care how dope you is. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how much money you have. I know that speaking brings up a lot for people when you're going to the depth of your story and getting beyond that surface level heebie-jeebie that you be out here perpetuating online, and you actually get into the depth and the grit of what there is for you to share. I'm getting myself excited today. Come on, somebody who's ready for it. Who's ready for it? And it's a lot easier if you move from considering to committed to called. You see, consideration, you're just standing at the fork in the road. Commitment, you're driving fast, but you're running out of gas because you only got so much energy, so much effort. Calling, man, you don't got no choice but to surrender. Because if you don't, that voice, that nagging, that little, it's almost like I called it it's like a refrigerator hissing in the background of your life. It's always going to be hissing if you don't say yes to the call. Going through doing the dishes. Listen to sermons on Sunday. Watching YouTube videos. Meanwhile, the hissing is still there. March 23rd, man. It's not a class. It's a transformational speaking experience. Yes, you're going to learn a lot, but you're going to grow more than what you learn. Yes, it's a one-day experience. It's a one-day experience. Okay. Come on out, brother. Love to see you. Love to support you. Love to help you share your story. I think you're powerful. Considering, committed, called. This is good. Thank you for that. 100%. Okay. All right. I'm gonna bounce, y'all. I got other stuff to do. But come on out. And oh, by the way, y'all, if y'all haven't grabbed the copy of the updated book cover, do so. The interior is in progress. I'm hoping to have it done and re-released by probably the summer. Okay, is my goal. I really want to do it sooner, but no later than the summer re-releasing this. It could be as soon as next month if your boy schedules a writing retreat. Okay. But the exterior is super epic. So you want this on your coffee table. Jeez. Hold on. Let me see if I can read it. Look. Okay, I can't be serious. Okay, so anyways, grab this. And everybody who grabs it from us directly, because we can pour those proceeds into the relaunch of the book. I'm custom signing the book and I'm writing a little note in there, little message from my heart to yours. Okay. You can call it little prophetic message. It's just me tapping into my heart and sharing it with you. So if you want that, just drop book in the chat. Okay. Drop book in the chat. I got to get this camera thing fixed. Drop book in the chat and we'll make sure we get you that information. All right. I love y'all. Peace. Let's move from considering to committed to called. Deuces.